CF-18 Hornets from Cold Lake with the flyby to set the stage for Military Night here at Commonwealth Stadium. 1-4 Hamilton, 1-4 Edmonton, two teams looking for a fresh start.
Henry Burris leads the Canadian Football League in passing yards with 1,510. He'd like to see some more wins. And on the other sideline, Mike Riley was pulled with about 12 minutes to go in the first half against the Montreal Alouettes, when responded with a good final drive that fell 1 yard short of a victory for the Edmonton Eskimos.
So Kivas Reed's Eskimos have lost 3 in a row, trying to avoid the first ever 0-3 home start at Commonwealth Stadium. On the other sideline, Kent Austin's MASH unit swept by Saskatchewan. They're looking for the Ticats' first road win and trying to avenge a 30-20 loss against Edmonton back in week 2 on the campus of the University of Guelph. I'd like to say hello to viewers stateside watching on NBCSN tonight. Great night weather-wise, and that's worth noting after the game in Guelph. Kent Austin said that was like playing in a shower, but terrific weather conditions for the rematch as Grant Shaw kicks it off. And we're underway. Siobhan Walker from the Ticat 12-yard line. A good return out across the 30-yard line for Walker. The starters to watch brought to you by Napa Auto Parts, where custom advice comes standard.
Now we'll start with Henry Burris, because he's averaging over 300 yards per game in 3 of his 5 300 yards passing. One of his most reliable receivers this year has been newcomer Greg Ellingson, who now ranks 3rd overall among receivers. And one change to the offensive line: Joel Figueroa will replace Mark Dial at right tackle.
Burris coming off 395 passing yards last week, tops in the league this season. The handoff inside to USC product CJ Gable.
Look at those Eskimo defenders, and Damaso Munoz 2nd in the league in tackles. Take a look at Marcus Howard, has a couple of sacks, and I put Chris Thompson in here for a reason, because he's going to match up against Greg Ellingson in their last game against this team. Thompson faced Ellingson about 70% of the snaps on defense.
Ticats with only 66 yards rushing in the first game against Edmonton. Back to the ground on 2nd and short. And Gable with the couple. And looks like it's going to be an early 3rd down for Kent Austin, as the sticks will have to come out. This will be interesting. They've been working on short yardage this week after twice being stopped against the Saskatchewan Roughriders in consecutive weeks. Last week on the goal line.
Yeah, real turning point in that game when Kent Austin was on the 1-yard line. His offense and Henry Burris did not get in. Saskatchewan Roughriders hit Juroy Simon to get out of that hole. Very nice play, and really was a turning point. So it's been a area of focus for Kent Austin in this offense to fix the short yardage issues. We'll show you both examples. This was the first one, and that's the one I alluded to last week against the Saskatchewan Roughriders.
So 3rd and about the length of the football, and the adjustment Kent Austin has made. Henry Burris will now come out, and Dan Lefevre will take over short yardage duties. Back up in as the big boys hunker down behind Tim O'Neill. Slides off the left side, and not a great push there either.
Well, not a great push, and he got turned and faced the opposite direction, so he lost his leverage. It'll depend on the spot.
In behind O'Neill, Peter Diakowski, the left guard. Offense resetting for the Ticats, but not sure yet. Andre Prue wants a better look.
Well, this will be right down to an inch or two.
And they do have it. So a sigh of relief on that Hamilton sideline.
Better push by the offensive line to get things started. They did reestablish the line of scrimmage about a yard back, but you can see Lefevre got pushed back after his initial lunge. but got the spot and the first down.
Up at the 43-yard line, first down, flag down, Burris throws, Bakari Grant's got it, and he'll have a first down into Edmonton territory pending the penalty. Bakari Grant injured this week, hamstring tweak, and he was a game day decision, but makes his 6th consecutive start, but this one is coming back.
Offside, Hamilton number 88, 5-yard penalty, still first down.
Veteran Dave Stalla jumped the gun. It negates a 14-yard pickup to the red-hot Bakari Grant.
Stalla just playing in his second game, his first game that he returned to the lineup last week. A couple catches in that one.
So Stalla to the sidelines, 1st and 15. Upcoming. Delahunt sets up for a block, and he gets it as the pass sails past Giebel out of the backfield. Incomplete.
Pretty good coverage downfield by Damaso Munoz, who all of a sudden is second in the CFL in tackles, but shows you a little bit of his coverage ability as well in man-to-man here. As Gable comes out of the backfield, he's going to be picked up by Damaso Munoz, and watch how the linebacker runs right in his hip pocket. Gets caught on the inside move, gets away with a little bit of a hold. Now he catches up, regroups, and is right in the pocket.
That's why Henry Burris was upset, looking for a call. 2nd and 10, the 15, 3-man rush. Burris to the sidelines, and it's picked off. Aaron Grimes has his first interception in the Canadian Football League. Eskimos have their 4th interception of the year, and that's the 4th tossed on the season by Burris.
Take a look at this interception by Aaron Grimes. First of all, he's allowed to be physical as long as his shoulder pads are square to the line of scrimmage, which they are. And he is physical with Bakari Grant on the break right as he gets right up into the top of the route. It looked like to me Bakari Grant may have lost that football in the sun. Really didn't react till well after the fact, and Grimes has his first pick.
And Mike Riley and the Eskimos will go to work on offense, and an early jump by Torrey Davis. The big defensive tackle jumps the gun into the lineup for the first time, replacing the injured Terrence Moore.
Hamilton number 99, 5-yard penalty, still first down.
And Austin telling us yesterday he thought that Torrey Davis, the former Stampeder, would be an impact player for them tonight, not the start he was looking for.
Well, they gave up some yards along the ground against Edmonton in week 2. They want to fix that.
1st and 5. Charles. And Charles, who had the big game against Hamilton with 119 yards rushing. It's about 3 on the first carry.
See if Mike Riley can build on the momentum of a drive that came up a yard short. Both Riley and Coach Kavis Reed feel that they could build on that. Responded after being pulled. Fred Stamps and Kerry Koch, put them up there together in this game because they are moving Kerry Koch to the short side of the field to play wide out beside Fred Stamps to see if the two can combine to be a dangerous side of the field for Mike Riley.
Short yardage team checks in for Edmonton. Kerry Joseph at the controls, the handoff, and Charles has got the first down. 11 carries, 119 yards, and a 70-yard run for a touchdown for Hugh Charles against Hamilton in week 2.
That's why the Hamilton Ticats are hoping that Torrey Davis can help out. Jamal Johnson's got to have a big game to try and stop that run, still adjusting to playing middle linebacker. And then you take a look in the secondary, they get some help experience-wise from D. Webb, who has 40 games experience in the Canadian Football League, and one of the newcomers playing very well has been Delvin Broke.
First down, Edmonton. Hamilton 43. Riley the throw up top. Got a man, and he missed. Marcus Henry in behind coverage.
Boy, interesting, because this was the exact throw that put the ball on inside the 10-yard line in last week's game on that final drive for Mike Riley, as he hit Marcus Henry in the same seam, and this time just threw it to his outside shoulder, and Henry couldn't make the adjustment. wide open behind that young secondary.
One that got away. 2nd and 10. A dropped shotgun snap. Got a Cope. He's got it. Down the rail for Kerry Cope. And after a shaky start to the play, they pull it together, and it produces a 30-yard pickup.
And the change is producing production right out of the gate, if you could say it that way, as Kerry Cope works with Fred Stamps on the same side of the field. Now Stamps reacts thinking the ball was fumbled off the snap. Kerry Cope's going to play wide out beside Stamps into the boundary. Pretty poised reaction from Mike Rowley.
First down, Eskimos. Another problem here. Riley in some trouble. Got it away to save the loss, but we've got some issues going on the shotgun snaps.
Well, up until this week, Brian Ramsey had been playing center. They moved Gord Hines back into that center spot. And obviously they're having some problems either with communication and the snap count, or just the snap itself. The last shotgun snap bounced off the chest of Riley, so you have to believe that was a communication issue. They didn't get the snap count correct. That one a little low into the outside. Both times, though, Mike Riley has kept his composure.
Injured Tiger Cat, Glenn Courtney Stephen, the safety, is down getting attention. That will give Mike Riley a chance to confer on the sidelines. Just what the Ticats need, another injury. 97 man games already. The Ticats have lost due to injury. Stephen is up and headed off.
And one of the reasons they're so inexperienced on the defensive side of the ball, Chris, they've got a lot of games played on the injured list right now.
Courtney Stephen has been earning early rave reviews. And Neil King will come in at the safety spot. 2nd and 10. And Riley's going to be dragged down with flags flying. Brian Bulkey gets to the quarterback. It would be his 2nd sack of the year if it stands.
Well, good push, and Brian Bulkey grabbed the jersey of Mike Riley and hung on.
Edmonton number 57. That penalty's declined. 3rd down.
That's Gord Hines, the center.
And Gord Hines was playing right over Brian Bulkey. There's the center, and there's Bulkey right there. One-on-one contact made as he comes up the middle, works around the guard. The center holds him in Gord Hines, and then hangs onto that jersey to register a 2nd sack.
Bulkey and Jamal Johnson, the only Ticats to start on defense in all 6 games. Grant Shaw puts the field goal through. Brian Bulkey with the defensive play for the Ticats as Edmonton limited to 3. Wendy's Friday Night Football is brought to you by Late Night. Participating Wendy's open until midnight or later. Now that's better. A 25-yard field goal for Grant Shaw as the Edmonton Eskimos strike first. Led 16-0 in the first quarter of the first meeting between the two teams.
When the skies opened up in Guelph. Most of the damage done before the heavy rains.
Siobhan Walker awaits. C.J. Gable back as well. It'll be the speedster Walker. Up over the 35. And is bounced out at the Ticat bench. So good field position thanks to Siobhan Walker. 35-yard return.
The bright lights for the Hamilton offense been Greg Ellingson, who leads all first-year players in receiving by a long shot. 351 yards so far on 21 catches. His longest play of the year so far, 39-yarder. Henry Burris gaining more and more confidence with Greg Ellingson.
Third in the league in receiving, on pace for over 1,200 yards. Bakari Grant 5th. And Henry Burris, the #1 quarterback in passing yards, hands it off. And Walker blocker crashes off the left side. J.C. Sherritt, the tackle.
Sooner or later, Kent Austin's got to get a ground game going here for the Hamilton Ticats offensively. Right now, they're about 80% or just over 80% passing. It's just well above the league average. A lot of teams trying to look for that balanced attack where you get the defense guessing a little bit, and the Hamilton Ticats have just not run the ball very much at all this year.
Eskimos might be vulnerable there. Ranked 7th against the run. Burris on 2nd and 6. Guns it to Grant. He's got it. First down. Former Ticat Chris Rabacumbo with the tackle. Harry Grant has really been on fire. At least 5 catches in each of his last 4 games.
Well, the second hottest receiver to Chad Owens in the CFL over that period of time. And as you mentioned earlier, Chris, he was almost a scratch tonight. Dodson Collins, a former Edmonton Eskimo, was brought on the trip and almost made the lineup. Akari Grant, last minute, said he was good to go.
Had 6 second down conversion catches in the last 4 games. There's one here tonight. And now into the hands of C.J. Gable. Shifts gears on Munoz and gets outside for good first down production.
C.J. Gable just made a move on the second best tackler so far in the CFL. A guy who's passed J.C. Sherritt, his teammate, who broke the record last year. Watch the shake and bake by Gable on Damaso Munoz.
Gable gets 6. Only 4 carries last week.
See if Gable can pick up the slack for the injured Lindsey Lamar.
Second down. Inside it goes, and Grant again took that away from J.C. Sherritt. And another second down conversion catch for number 84.
Boy, J.C. Sherritt almost cut underneath that throw from Henry Burris. He reads it nicely on his drop here. Not a large window for Burris. It was a porthole, but Henry Burris got it in there. See, he cuts underneath and just missed the football. Akari Grant maintains his concentration, not distracted by Sherritt being that close.
15 yards for Akari Grant, and now the hitch to Andrea Jones. Grant blocking, and Andrea Jones inside the 20-yard line. Taken down by Aaron Grimes.
Henry Burris has put up the numbers like he did a year ago. In fact, Burris is on pace for over 5,400 yards, which would be a personal best, and beat last year's total, 5,367. And if you ask him, he'd trade all the yards in for a few more wins, and that's what the sense of urgency for the Hamilton Tigers. That's what has them on the edge right now.
They go double tight ends, 2nd and 1. 6th play of the drive, and it's Gable inside for the first down. Much better balance, pass and run for the Ticats in this first quarter than we've seen so far this season.
Well, absolutely. Kent Austin trying to take advantage of maybe something that the Edmonton Eskimos haven't done real well this year, and that's run defense. You mentioned ranked 7th in the league. The only team that struggled more has been the Hamilton defense against the run.
Rick Marshall's crew has allowed over 100 yards rushing in each game except the start against Hamilton. First down, pressure on, and the pass complete to Shakir. Taken down quickly by T.J. Hill.
Quick recognition, though, for Burris, who saw the safety come down, Donovan Alexander. He obviously didn't have an adjustment route to get one of his receivers to the hole, but the safety comes down and comes on a blitz like that. You know he's going to be unblocked, and Burris recognized that, got the ball out quickly.
4 yards for Shakir. 2nd and 6. Ball on the Edmonton 10-yard line. Burris doesn't like the first option and will throw it away.
Looked like Henry Burris was looking to the short side of the field for Akari Grant, who was working one-on-one with Aaron Grimes, who already has 1 interception in this game tonight. Watch on the break. Akari Grant goes down. Henry Burris decides to just get rid of it. like it was going to be that bang route where you make that inside curl move, then bang back to the sideline, and slipped on the turn.
So here's Luka Kanji from 17 yards out. Martell the hold, and Kanji has tied it. Under 4 minutes to go, first quarter. Mike Riley gets set to go on offense when we return to Commonwealth. CFL on TSN is brought to you by Nissan. Innovation that excites. Hey, the Box J boys, at least one has made the trip here to Commonwealth. 3-3 the score here in the late stages of the first quarter. Gary Cope, the fly sweep, nothing doing. Brandon Boudreau got in there and drops Coke for a loss as Boudreau returns to the defense for the first time since week 1.
Boy, any of these wide plays are disrupted when you can get penetration. Anytime you're trying to go laterally along the line of scrimmage, you can get in trouble with penetration. It just doesn't allow you to get the corner. And Boudreau steps up the field about 4 yards and cuts off the lane for Kerry Cope. No sir.
Loss of 6. Boudreau trying to reclaim his spot. Defensive end Greg Peach starting to practice again, the former Eskimo. And pass in the flat is caught. Shamad Chambers got bent back in an awkward fashion. He's shaken up. Arthur Hobbs on the corner made the defensive play, and Chambers is going to get to the sidelines, but good to see him get up after that.
He got twisted on the tackle.
He picks up about 7 yards there. The third and return about 7 for the Eskimos.
Just runs that underneath out. Ed got involved, hit him kind of low. Looks like he'll be okay though.
Just the second catch of the season for Chambers. It's a 2 and out for the Eskimos, and Grant Shaw gets set to boot it away to Andrea Jones. Good boot. Jones backpedals back to his 16. A good return up towards the 35-yard line. There's some flag down on the play. And we'll sort it out when we return when Bakari Grant and the Ticats go back to work on offense. Well, this is the scene as J.C. Sherritt gets escorted to the Eskimo dressing room with an apparent left hand injury.
Rennie Curran will replace him in the linebacking core alongside Damaso Munoz and TJ Hill.
A guy the Eskimos are very high on, however, that's the top defensive player in the league last year. And this is interesting. Dan Lefebvre in at quarterback. And Lefebvre takes off. So Kent Austin sends his backup in. Dan Lefebvre for a series here. This is shades of last week and what the Eskimos did with Mike Riley.
Well, and Lefebvre runs the football off a little fake handoff and then takes it basically on what looked like a design quarterback sneak. So much like the Edmonton Eskimos with Kerry Joseph that has a running play package with him, it looks like maybe Kent Austin has the same for Lefebvre.
2nd and 5, Lefebvre rolls. He's got Jaguar open and a first down catch. Sammy Jaguar's got his second catch of the game and a first down.
Well, this is very interesting, and the fact that Henry Burris is not pacing the sideline and standing beside his coach would indicate that he knew this was going to happen in this game. It wasn't that Henry Burris had made any glaring mistakes or was pulled. But it was designed coming in.
This seems mandatory that the backups get a look the way they're playing. Here's Lefebvre taking off again, and he's into the secondary. A late flag as Lefevre hits the ground around the Edmonton 41-yard line. First down yardage had been picked up. And let's check what the flag's all about.
And then some. He had about 10 yards.
Holding. Hamilton, number 84. The foul occurred after yards were gained. First down. 10-yard penalty.
So it comes late in the pickup. First down yardage had been gained. Bakari Grant called on the hold, and they'll mark it right at midfield.
Couple changes on that offensive line when you see Tim O'Neill in at center for Marwan Hayes. And good block by that center right down the field on Rennie Curran. Here's your hold. This has become quite a battle.
Wow.
Bakari Grant on Aaron Grimes.
Was a 19-yard run. It is a first down. Fake to Gable into the flat, and Ellingson can't hang on with Rabakamba on the scene defensively.
Yeah, Chris Rabakamba is the reason that Ellingson can't hang on to this ball. He's right in the hip pocket of Ellingson, but is active with his own hands. In other words, as the ball arrives, and it's a good throw on the money, but as it arrives, watch how active Chris Rabakamba becomes. He gets his hand in there, strips it out. He doesn't have a chance.
Lefevre in his second year, he's out of Central Michigan, the GMAC Bowl MVP of 2010. The guy who looked very good in the preseason.
It's coming.
There they get to him. Eric Samuels on the blitz. Gets home. Final play of the opening quarter. And the Eskimos ended with a sack. Through 15 minutes, we're tied at 3 here in Edmonton. Game tied at 3 after 15 minutes. There are the numbers.
Well, Henry Burris was 4 for 7. Did throw the interception to Aaron Grimes, and then had that one play down the goal line where Bakari Grant fell down and he elected to throw it away, kick the field goal. But seeing Dan Lefevre, a little bit of surprise, and I guess we'll get a chance, like last weekend, us, our viewers, and the Ottawa Red Blacks get a chance to see Dan Lefevre a little bit.
It is a little bit of a surprise because that field goal drive by the Tiger Cats looked sharp until the final play. You know Kent Austin's structure has multiple looks, and when Henry Burris missed on the first look and threw it away, you wonder, is that enough to give another guy a look? Or is it just a change of pace against the Edmonton defense? Gary Cope, with the big punt return last week for an 80-yard touchdown, gets nailed there as Frederick Plessius downfield to make the tackle.
You know, when you think about last week when Mike Riley was pulled, about 12 minutes left in the first half, his body language on the sideline was frustration and disappointment. His teammates rallied around. I remember TJ Hill walking up beside him and patting him on the back. Burris didn't have that reaction, almost as if he knew this was coming and it was planned. Now, we're speculating either way a little bit, but he didn't have that same reaction as Mike Riley a week ago.
Gary Koch mentioned yesterday when Riley didn't come into the huddle in the second quarter, that huddle was shocked. They thought maybe he was hurt. Oh, he gets nailed there as he throws incomplete, looking for Gary Koch, and big Torrey Davis unloaded on Mike Riley.
Good push by Torrey Davis.
This is the impact that Kent Austin was talking about.
Well, that's a beautiful swim move up over the top of Simeon Rotier. Seriously affecting the accuracy of Mike Riley's throw there.
Seriously. Second and 10.
Another one.
Riley downfield. And pass interference will be the call. Knocked down by Emmanuel Davis, but on the scene a little too quickly.
Pass interference, Hamilton, number 20. Automatic first down.
And all the penalties, all 5 so far in the game, have gone against the Ticats.
Emmanuel Davis plays this well because he's the deep defender here that has to just break on this seam. He just arrives a split second too early, so the call is absolutely correct by the officials. Watch contact made, and then the ball arrives.
Davis was on the corner last week. Here's the fly sweep. And cutting in is Hugh Charles. He's got a first down run inside the Ticat 50-yard line.
You mentioned the big game by Hugh Charles against Hamilton. And made some big catches when the rain had begun, but at over 100 yards. And that's where Jamal Johnson comes in. And Jamal Johnson is still trying to learn that middle linebacker spot a little bit and get settled in there. Had 5 tackles against Charles in that first game.
12 yards for Charles, the 8th run in double-digit length this year for him. Riley Hennessy delivers again, and this time it was Nate Bussey off the edge. A weak side linebacker, and Riley has been punished on this drive.
Well, he's going to just try and line up and cover the guard, but basically the Edmonton Eskimos aren't sure who to pick him up on the left side of that offensive line, because the guard comes down on the inside to help out on Hassam Hassim. And this is where Bussey gets the free ride right to the quarterback.
2nd and 10. Out of the backfield, Calvin McCarty's got a first down, pushed out by Rico Murray, who was in Edmonton camp, and McCarty, who had a touchdown catch in Montreal, has a first down grab here.
Riley's taken a couple of hits on this series and just has regrouped each time. Keep the chains moving and the sticks moving forward. Get another first down on that little out throw to Calvin McCarty.
13 to McCarty. First down to the Ticat 36-yard line. John White in the backfield. Flag down is the fake to White, and it's Riley. Lost the ball at the end of the play, but dropped inside the 30, and again, flags on the field.
Well, timing was off on that play for the Edmonton offense. Looked like he needed to have an option on that run to the left and didn't have it, so he just tried to get what he could.
Illegal procedure. Edmonton at no end on the left side. Number 68 was closing the line. It is a 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
So an alignment issue. Mike Riley telling us yesterday that they're still making these little mistakes that the offense has to eliminate pre-snap. First and 15. He steps up. Gonna take off. Jamal Johnson there. Now the helmet comes off, and all the Ticats rallying to the quarterback. And Riley might have been better to hit the deck a little earlier.
Tell how important this is and how much Mike Riley wants to build on that drive. Even though they didn't win the game last week against Montreal, Riley felt like the offense took that positive step. And right now I'm watching a quarterback to fight for every single inch.
And earning some fans here in his home stadium.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, at any time there, he could have, first of all, hook slided. He lost his helmet, got hit a couple of times without it on, just kept battling for another half a yard or so.
Got 10 on the run and survived for 2nd and 5. Here comes the heat again. Down the middle and almost picked off. Courtney Stephen, who dropped one last week in the end zone, couldn't squeeze that. As Riley forced it in, intended for Fred Stamps.
Yeah, he just didn't see the safety coming. And you know, I've watched some film now on Courtney Stephen over the last couple of weeks and have been really impressed with his footwork. I mean, he's got the great quickness, his ability to read quickly for such a young player, a rookie in the CFL. Now he's just got to finish plays, but one step at a time. He may have scored on that. There was a lot of open field in front of him.
Grant Shaw from 38 yards out. And Shaw puts it through. Eskimos reclaim the lead. 6-3, Kivas Reed's Eskimos in the lead. Let's check in with Jermaine Franklin on the sidelines.
Chris, J.C. Serrett has returned to the sideline for the Eskimos. His left thumb is heavily bandaged, so much so that he needed help from Odell Willis to put on his right glove, but it looks like he will be giving it a go. Courtney Stevens left the game earlier in the first quarter. His problem was a tightened right hamstring, but they treated it with the massage as well as a compression wrap, and obviously we saw the play that he made just before the break, and he should be good to go for the rest of the game.
Interested to see what quarterback comes out for the Ticats after this return. C.J. Gable, and he is dropped at the 33-yard line, and so one series as a change-up for Dan Lefebvre, and back to work goes the leading passer in the Canadian Football League, Henry Burris.
And if you add it all up now, it looks like it was a planned series so that Henry Burris could stand beside Kent Austin on the bench, watch Dan Lefebvre. He showed some things. It's okay. Good scrambles into the backfield, threw on the run well.
Lenny Kern in the middle of that Eskimo defense. Burris cut back to throw over the middle, and he's got the fullback, John Delahunt, the former Ottawa Sooner, with a first down up at the 54.
Little play action just freezes the defensive line a little bit. Delahunt, who lines up as a tight end here, is just going to kind of meander his way in front of safety Donovan Alexander. And because of the play action there, C.J. Gable picks up the blitz from T.J. Hill. 19-yard gain for Delahunt.
Gable will try the right side. Gets across midfield and finally dropped around the Edmonton 50. Brandon Lang on the scene, but good first down run production by the Ticats so far tonight.
Averaging just 67 yards a game, not good enough, but I think it was the plan for Kent Austin a week ago to involve the running backs a lot more, and then he lost Lindsay Lamar in the game with a concussion. And doesn't have him available in the lineup, but they make the change. They bring Siobhan Walker in. C.J. Gable is the feature tailback, and the running game prominent here tonight.
8 for Gable, 56 on the ground for the Ticats. That's 10 short of their scheme output against Edmonton the last time, and a first down run there for the former USC Trojan.
Because of Burris' running ability, this is a great series to have in your offense because he can run that ride inside of that read option that we see a lot from every offense in the CFL. He's one of the best at running it.
Burris 10th in the league in rushing, over 7,000 rushing yards in his career. Stay on the ground, and it's Siobhan Walker, upended by T.J. Hill.
Time all three backs were in the backfield. Siobhan Walker, C.J. Gable, and John Delahunt was there as well. So this is a new package, implemented a little bit last week by Kent Austin against Saskatchewan with Lindsay Lamar in the mix, but you see all three backs in with Delahunt playing as a tight end.
He was frustrated last week. The three backs included Darren Diedrich and Lindsay Lamar. He lost both in the first quarter and had to abandon the three-back concept. 2nd and 7. To the wide side for Barry Grant. Cuts back and has a first down. Barry Grant keeps moving the chains for the Ticats.
Great move to spin out of the tackle by Chris Wabakamba. I wouldn't be surprised to see the Hamilton Tiger Cats try and go after this matchup a little bit more and see if they can get a double move on Wabakamba as he gets just a second start out there on the wide side corner. Watch the aggressive turn to the inside, an extra yard gain.
Wabakamba replacing Joe Burnett, missing back-to-back weeks with a hamstring problem. 24 for Grant and a first down at the 19. On the way of Jones to Hitch. And Jones has another first down. toss back, but
Passes
looks like
complete
forward
to
progress
number
was the 9, and the sticks are moving again.
Back-to-back throws to the side of Chris Wabakamba. Kent Austin just testing the rookie corner to see, number one, is he going to cover? All right, nice block on the inside by Bakari Grant. And can the young corner make that open field tackle? Misses on that play.
First 3 for 3 on the drive after being reasserted. Now first and goal, Cats. Jones in motion. Gable inside. C.J. Gable, touchdown.
32, C.J. Gable carries for a touchdown.
Ride and decide. Good decision, Henry Burris.
The Hamilton Ticat running game has reported for duty here in week 6.
There's the read option. The option chosen by Henry Burris was the give to C.J. Gable, and he hits the goal line.
Big boys up front celebrate. Peter Diakowski helps bring C.J. Gable. 4th touchdown of the year for the Gable guy. 8-yard touchdown run, the first major of the night.
C.J. Gable gets some nice blocking from the offensive line on that touchdown. It's from Peter Diakowski and Brian Simmons. Diakowski's going to go big on the D-line, and then it's Simmons gets upfield and stopping it. Look at the push on Damaso Munoz, just enough to get him out of the hole by Brian Simmons, and that's right where C.J. Gable hits it.
So Hamilton with the lead 10-6. Back to work, Eskimos, and Pete Charles trying to get that Eskimo running game going. Up close to the 46. Give Charles 6 on the carry. Pete Charles was 4th in yards from scrimmage last year. This season so far, 15th. Not seeing the ball as much as a receiver, and sharing the running duties with John White. 2nd and 4. This time it's Riley taking off, and Norwood, and then a huge hit. And boy, Riley has taken some punishment this first half.
He has, and to a point to which I would think that Kavis Reed might want to talk to him and say, look, I understand you're hungry for a win. I understand you're hungry to just continue to take control of this football team, but take a look at defensive line play up front with Brian Balke and Eric Norwood. Norwood gets first contact, Balke right helmet-to-helmet shot on Mike Riley.
Vicious shot, and somewhat amazed that Riley popped up as quick as he did.
Can't take too many more of those.
William Jones back at his 20. Yeah. He's taken down by Josh Jesse on the 27-yard line.
Clearly, Ken Austin trying to look for balance, because Gable has the best rushing performance for Ticat, as you mentioned, Chris, this season. And we're not finished the first half.
2 lowest scoring teams coming in, both with 99 points in the opening 5 weeks. Gable had a couple of touchdowns in the season opener against Toronto. Here's Burris looking for Shigeru. Wabakamba there defensively. Former Ticat corner who had an interception and a fumble recovery in week 2 against his old teammates.
Not the 4th-round pick for the Hamilton Ticats back in 2010. And that's what you want to see in a young player. Not necessarily if he makes a mistake or two, because they all will, but how he responds to those mistakes, and that's a big play. Across the middle on first down, gets there quickly on the curl and knocks it down. Had an early knockdown as well in the first quarter.
See J.C. Sheriff back target. 2nd and 10. Burris over the middle, and Dave Stalla's got it. Went up and brings it down at the 52-yard line. And it's a Ticat first down after 25 for the veteran Stalla.
3 receivers to the short side of the field. And Dave Stalla, the middle of the 3 of them, just finds that soft spot right in front of Marcel Young. Marcel Young looked like he thought he had the pick, and Stalla couldn't climb the ladder to get it. Didn't play through the receiver.
Stalla with 2 catches last week, including number 400 in his career. Play action fake. Burris running in time. Will come it off. And Gable across midfield, wrestled down by Marcus Howard, and a flag at the end of the play.
You know, we're seeing a couple of things. Hamilton Tiger Cats playing better up front. Got the running game going, something we haven't seen much of all season long. That means the offensive line playing better. Henry Burris has had some time in that pocket.
Major foul. Face mask. Edmonton number 11. 15-yard penalty enforced from the end of the play. Automatic first down.
Not sure Grant Shaw was playing defense there, but it was probably number 12. TJ Hill just got the number wrong.
Eskimos the most penalized team in the league, and
here comes TJ Hill.
There's the call. There's Siobhan Walker with a great speed, and he slices down inside the 25, and it's Rob Akumba who upends him, but it's a 14-yard scamper as the run game continues to chew up yards.
Yeah, and it doesn't matter if it's Siobhan Walker or CJ Gable. O-line's playing better.
3-minute warning given to the benches. Ticats with a 4-point lead and threatening to add to it. GMC live at the half coming your way. The panel will weigh in on the appearance of Dan Lefevre in this first half, and also 3 downs coming up on GMC live at the half. 3 minutes away. 1st and 10. Ticats marching down to the Edmonton 23. Back into the hands of Gable. Another flag as Gable is brought down just inside the 20. And this looks like it's a holding call against the Tiger Cats.
Right when I was talking about the improved play of the offensive line, they draw a flag. Now, I'm not sure if it was a lineman.
Hamilton number 66, 10-yard penalty. Still first down.
Former Eskimo right guard Greg White.
Joel Figueroa has been playing well on at that right tackle spot. I know they've been excited to get him in the ballgame. Replaces Mark Dial. Take a look go back a couple of plays and watch the right tackle. As Henry Burris has success here, has to scramble around, has lots of time in the pocket because Figueroa will take help on the defensive end and then just pancake J.C. Sherrod as he tried to get up the field.
Former Miami Hurricane, and everybody excited to see him there. Now they'll screen it. Here's Gable. Figueroa is leading the block. Gable runs. A hurdle by C.J. Gable over Donovan Alexander, and close to a first down.
First of all, great call from the sideline to run the screen play on 1st and long, 1st and after the penalty. Execution is good, and when you see Gable get out, he almost stumbled there. Now watch the hurdle. Donovan Alexander goes low, he goes right over the top of him.
There's a Sports Center moment. And a measurement required on a pickup of close to 20.
2nd down.
And a chain link short, which is almost like a free play here for the Ticats, although their short yardage has been a bit of an adventure.
But Dan Lefevre comes in, as we saw earlier in short yardage, but he's also run a possession as the starting quarterback, so he is warmed up to throw it if they decide on a wasted down or take a shot here on short yardage. And 2nd down.
Here comes the short yardage team, which allows the Eskimos to respond with their jumbo team on defense. By the way, Henry Burris, since returning, is 6 and 7 for 105 after Dan Lefebvre had one series. Joel Figueroa just went up to the official, not sure whether he can be eligible or not. No, not the way he's lined up. So just Hooker down here. And Lefebvre, and again, not much there. It's Munoz tries to grab his ankle and pull him back, but they only needed a link or two of the chain. But I'm not sure Ken Austin is completely confident with going 3rd and 1 based on what he has seen so far in a couple of short yardage sneaks.
Let's take a look at Joel Figueroa once more. As you take a look at his size, 6'6", 320 pounds. Nicked coming out of camp, and they've just been dying to see him on the field.
43 games with the Miami Hurricanes. 8th play of the drive for the Ticats. Let's run, and they get to Burris. Henry Burris dropped as Odell Willis gets home. And all 3 sacks for Willis on the season have been against Hamilton.
Well, Odell Willis does a nice job here of going up the field first and then getting the corner on the opposite side away from Joel Figueroa, as we showed you. And Greg Voigt gets caught going down way too far inside. You can see Burris upset with his offensive lineman. He looks up going, I know he was supposed to be blocked.
Cody Husband, offensive lineman, is getting attention from Carly Vandergraft and the athletic therapy staff.
Red zone, the Hamilton Tiger-Cats have had some issues. You look at their last 4 games, they were down there 9 times in those 4 games, scored just 3 touchdowns. Just 1 TD in the red zone in the last 2 games. Now they got one earlier here tonight. And the touchdown by Gable.
Husband coming into the game in the short yardage looks for the Ticats and lined up at right guard, and Greg Voigt, the usual starter at that position, kicks out to a tight end spot. Let's see if we can find out what happened to Husband.
Right to the right of Henry Burris here. Even with Ted Laurent, you can see both Odell Willis and Burris roll on the back of his left leg.
UBC product in his 2nd year, hobbling to the sidelines. That's the 2nd sack of the night for the Eskimos, as Willis and Samuels have registered sacks on Burris.
And that's 6 in a game and a half against Hamilton in the first game between these 2 teams. That Edmonton defense had 4 sacks, 2 picks. They already have an interception and 2 sacks in the first half. They have given up some yards, however, and some yards against the ground, along the ground.
So they go back to the conventional grouping. And 2nd and 15. Play action. Burris into the end zone. Touchdown, Greg Ellingson. 2nd touchdown in as many weeks, and another variation on his celebration.
Was he digging for gold or what? First of all, the play started with Henry Burris and his ability to just buy some time. Gets a nice block off the edge here from his tight end, Delahunt. He takes care of Marcus Howard, keeps him high. Now Burris scrambles around, buys some time. Ellingson along the back of the end zone keeps working to present a target for his quarterback.
Not sure he knew about the George Cortez shovel from last year. But Greg Ellingson has his second touchdown of the season. 9 plays, 83-yard drive.
Well, for the receiver in Greg Ellingson here, it's about your scramble rules. Now Ellingson runs his seam, and he doesn't see the football, but he sees his quarterback scramble, so he goes over to the opposite side of the field to keep working. Donovan Alexander can't stay with him. And Henry Burris has cashed in twice in the red zone, so fixing that problem as well.
9th touchdown pass of the year for Henry Burris, number 309 in his career. The guy who was catching passes in the Arena League from Adrian McPherson continues his excellent rookie season for the Ticats.
Yards last week. Get Andy Fantus back. Greg Ellingson continues to progress. Hamilton with the time of percentage advantage big time in this first half. Bakari Grant added to that mix. That's a pretty good looking receiving call in the second.
And still waiting on Andy Fantus. Hugh Charles flagged down in behind the kick returner, brings it up to the 40-yard line. But time of possession was such an emphasis point for Kavis Reed this week. They want their offense to stay up.
Illegal block during a return. Edmonton, number 38. 10-yard penalty. First down.
Eric Samuels, the culprit this time for the Eskimos, and a longer field for Kavis Reed and Mike Riley with 86 seconds available here in the first half.
Well, you start to wonder, based on last week, would Kavis Reed consider a shakeup again? The panel wants to talk about the quarterback move for the Hamilton Tiger Cats, but last week Mike Riley sat out for 3 possessions. Went back in, responded well, just didn't quite finish that game off.
And he has taken some vicious shots here in this first half. Dumps it off, pass incomplete, and a flag on the play.
It's not from lack of effort from Mike Riley, I'll tell you that. I mean, he continues to battle, got hit on that play. I think the games that I've seen Mike Riley play this year, he's taken more hits in this first half.
Number 68. Penalties decline. Second down.
That is Coleman called, and that Ticat front has been
better.
Pretty stout tonight.
Yeah, a lot better than the last couple of weeks.
Ken Austin mentioning he was encouraged with the defensive play last week in the second half. Better pass rush, better tackling, and looks like they've raised their game tonight. Second and 10. First touchdown, first time they call his name tonight. A guy that has dominated against the Hamilton Tiger Cats. And a much needed first down of 19 yards.
Well, when Mike Riley went 4 for 4 in that final drive last week, 2 of those throws went to Fred Stamps, and both looked just like that. Getting some chemistry on that read seam route.
First and 10. And it's McCarty out the flat again. He'll step out near the first down. And what was interesting about the Stamps plays last week, Mike Riley mentioning that they weren't the chalkboard looks. They were adjustments made by quarterback and receiver in that final drive.
Well, that tells you that, yeah, that communication without communicating is getting there. Remember, Stamps missed 1 game of the regular season, missed basically all of training camp and the preseason.
And a lot of practice time reps as well. So 9 for McCarty, second and 1. And handoff will get the first down up at the 45 as we're into the final minute of this first half.
Sense of urgency on this drive. Kavis Reed trying to grab momentum, because it's possible that it's never happened at Commonwealth Stadium is for this Eskimo team to go 0-3 out of the gate. He does not want his name attached to that stat.
Problem that started last year. They've won just 2 of their last 8 home games. At the 45, Riley's got time. He's got Kuhorn. Bubbles back and gets drilled there. As D. Webb, the veteran, returning to that secondary with the sure tackle on Kuhorn.
I think across the board in that secondary, the Hamilton Young Guns were happy to see D. Webb in the lineup just to help them get lined up right more than anything.
Vocal leader, and you're right, a lot of the young guys talked about how important Webb is to be back in there. 2nd and 5. Riley to the sidelines. Kerry Cope has the catch. Has the first down. Stops the clock in Ticat territory.
You know, one thing Kavis Reed might want to do, and Doug Sands here, as this season goes on, this game goes on, is keep Mike Riley in the hurry-up offense. You know, he played well in that final series last week in the hurry-up. He looks like he's got some confidence, and it's growing in this hurry-up run.
Gary Cope mentioning yesterday they did a lot of practice in that, and they felt like they really had Montreal off balance because of it. Got something going here with under a half minute to go. Looking for Stamps and nearly picked off. Emmanuel Davis with a shot at the ball.
Went to the well maybe one too many times now. It's that same seam route where Fred Stamps just bends around the linebacker and then tries to find that soft spot in front of the safety. Doesn't want to get too deep on it, but just around the linebacker. This time Emmanuel Davis just said, yeah, I've seen that one. He just ran it a few plays ago.
2nd and 10. Trying to get into scoring position. Has some time. Chambers the catch. And he stays upright and reaches for the first down. Heck of an effort by Shamad Chambers. Let's see if the spot's good enough, but they may give Grant Shaw a chance at a field goal if they are short. Or do you go 3rd down? Let's see how far away they are. Oh, it's going to be 3rd and 4. So the spot, he stepped out quite a bit before the first down stick. I was surprised that that's where they mark it, but
we're on the opposite end, and he must have stepped out on that first turn down the sideline because it did look like he extended right close to the marker.
And they're not going to try the 51-yard field goal or 3rd and 4.
Fans hate it.
Fans don't like it. Unless you've got something on.
Long for Shaw, 47.
He's got a big leg. They'll try and kick for 1. And they'll scramble out. I don't know, Coach.
I try the field goal. I mean, the conditions are ideal. There's not a breath of wind out here unless Grant Shaw went to Kavis Reed and said, it's a little outside my range. Sometimes that's how it works on the sideline. The kicker will give the coach the indication as to whether or not it's a little outside. But as long on the season is 47.
Would have been, well, the wind doesn't seem to be a big factor here, and I watched him kick 50-yarders in the warm-up. But again, you miss, and there's a big return.
But you know what, Chris? Both teams are struggling. I think you play aggressive. You play to put points on the board and grab some momentum. I'm not surprised the fans didn't like it.
And I guess the reason you don't go for it 3rd and 4, even though you're on their side of the field, is you're one completion away from giving them another field goal opportunity. But the fans here are not in agreement with the coach. Ticats lead at 17-6 as we head to the second half. But first, Jermaine Franklin on the sidelines with Kavis Reed.
Davis offense held to just 6 points in that first half. What needs to happen to have more execution in the second half?
We got to execute the plays. It's what we haven't done that has kept us away from scoring touchdowns. Our execution hasn't been where it needed to be for us to put points on the board.
Mike Riley put himself in vulnerable positions. Is there any concern when he's taking big hits like that?
Yeah, we told Mike that he has to play smart football. He's not a running back. He's a quarterback. When the opportunity presents itself to get yards, get it to get down.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
He'd taken a bunch of big hits, and probably more than I've seen all year.
And any momentum from last week's final series was not there in the first half. We'll see what they do coming out for the second half. Hugh Charles trying to set it up over the 30-yard line as Mike Riley goes back to work, and good to see him still upright after some of the hellacious hits he took in the first half.
You know, some he could avoid. That wasn't one of them. But when he gets out in the open field and runs with the football, he can hook, slide, get down early, or get out of bounds. And there's a difference. You're going to take some of those big hits anyway, but on those two, the most devastating of the two of those hits, he could have hook slide before he got there.
Utilized 5 different receivers in the first half. 8 for 15 for Riley, 101. They start on the ground, and Hugh Charles is stopped. Troy Davis has made a big difference in the middle of that defensive line. Brian Bulkey's had a solid year, and now Davis providing quite a tandem.
Yeah, he really has, because he's with the two of them together. They're now demanding that the offensive line come down, step down, and go into stuff like slide protection like they are here to try and get more than one body on Davis.
Jamal Johnson fills the hole, second down, and Riley to the sidelines, and there's a completion to Karen Cope. And a first down for the Eskimos.
This pass never happens if not for running back Hugh Charles, who steps up and he sees the blitz coming from number 6 here, Nate Bussey. Steps up, square in the hole, and stands him up so that Mike Riley can deliver a strike.
Big first drive for the Eskimos here to start the second half. Riley's got some time. Once Fred Stamps on the corner route, and incomplete D-Web there, and Fred Stamps nearly made a tough catch. A couple of veterans
Got it off. Ran the corner route on D-Web. He had him open, a little tug that D-Web gets away from there, or gets away with. And Fred Stamps juggling that, almost came up with it on his back.
Fred Stamps has played the Ticats 13 times, 78 catches, 1,220 yards, and 4 touchdowns. Second and 10. Hit as he throws, looking deep. Marcus Henry can't readjust, but there is a flag, and it's going against the Ticats. A head shot on Riley that will extend the drive.
Major foul, roughing the passer. Hamilton, number 6, 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Nate Bussey called the second roughing the passer penalty against the Ticats this season.
Nate Bussey was picked up on the last blitz that he went on by Hugh Charles. This time he works through that and then jumps up high into the head of Mike Riley. No question that will be called.
Well, first down at the 50. They take the sweep and head straight ahead with John White down to the 46-yard line.
It's been a regular theme to see Mike Riley adjusting his helmet and putting his chin straps back together and collecting his gear. But again, one of those intangibles you admire, just his effort and his sheer will here to take these hits, bounce back up, try and keep this offense moving and try and grab some momentum.
Ran for 54 yards the last time he met Hamilton. Second down, hit, and he really got drilled. Bulky, as Riley is getting punished here.
Again, there's the kind that he can avoid and the kind that he can. Again, this is the kind that he can't avoid. 4-point stance here for Brian Bulky. He's going to take a little inside fake, swim move, up over the top, and right in the chest of Mike Riley.
So Shaw, again, they don't try a 51-yarder. Shaw will try and pin. And it bounces down inside the 10-yard line. There'll be a no yards call against the Eskimos. Henry Burris and the Ticats get set to go back to work for the first time in the second half with an 11-point lead. Our sack tally brought to you by Burolator, tackling hunger across Canada. Check.
Hamilton Ticats have added 1 sack from Brian Bulkey, but they've had 16 hurries on Mike Riley and 12 hits, and there's been some big ones.
Yeah, they'll take 1 sack with the pressures they've had on Riley tonight. Flag down, Siobhan Walker with a good run up across the 25-yard line. Let's see what the flag's all about. After a 5-yard no yards penalty against Edmonton.
Well, yeah, I was going to say, Chris, the concern for Kavis Reed is the trenches right now. Both sides of the ball.
Hamilton, number 82, 5-yard penalty.
I mean,
still first down.
Ellingson offside.
This play comes back because of the offside, but Kavis Reed's got to be concerned because his quarterback's getting pounded. So he's losing the trench war with his offensive line. And that was a huge hole for Siobhan Walker on that last run. Greg Ellingson was offside, but they're opening up some holes for the run game for the Hamilton Ticats. He's losing the war in the trenches.
First and 15 from the 10, and another flag. They didn't get the play off in time, I don't believe. And this is going in the right direction for Kavis Reed.
Legal procedure. Hamilton, number 67, 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
So a sluggish start for the Ticats. First possession, second half. A team with only 26 second-half points in the first 5 weeks.
The head coach is not amused. Back-to-back penalties, and now you have him on his own 5-yard line.
First and 20. They empty out. And it's caught by Gable. J.C. Sherrick wrestles him down at the 15 as they get back to the original line of scrimmage.
At this point, you think the strategy for Henry Burris is almost, unless he's got a wide open receiver, is almost just to get enough room to punt the football successfully.
Well, they cut the yardage needed in half. And look at 2nd and 10. Here comes the blitz. Donovan Alexander. Pressure on. And Burris is dropped. Armando Sewell with the sack tumble.
You're right about the blitz. They're going to bring the safety, Donovan Alexander, but it's Sewell who gets there on the inside. He just bull rushes over Greg White.
Third sack of the season for Armando Sewell.
He didn't play against Hamilton the first time these two teams played.
You're going, Craig.
Defense needed that series, and now Bartell will step out the back and concede the safety. So it's now a 9-point Ticat lead as the Eskimos defense steps up. Eskimos get set to go back on offense, and with more on that, let's check in with Jermaine Franklin.
Chris, a lot of attention has been paid to Mike Riley and the Eskimo offense for their lack of production, but Kavis Reed told me yesterday that it's a complete team effort. It's not just the offense alone. One the Edmonton Eskimos have not won the time of possession yet this season, and they're trailing again tonight by 7.5 minutes. The reason is, according to Reed, is the defense needs to have more 2-and-outs, need to give the offense more chances. And Reed also said that special teams, in terms of the return game, has to put the offense in better positions to start drives.
That was a good defensive series for the Eskimos. Now they get the ball just beyond the 30-yard line.
Well, a good series because you feel something positive. First of all, Hamilton was a bit self-inflicted with the 2 penalties, and they're putting Crompton back on the field.
Jonathan Crompton warmed up during the break along with Kerry Joseph. It looked like Mike Riley was coming in, but it is Crompton.
It was halfway out there, wasn't it?
Yeah. Jonathan Crompton out of Tennessee. Number 5 on the depth chart when the Eskimo training camp opened. And a fake to Charles, and with Emmanuel Davis on the blitz, Crompton has to throw it away.
It surprises me. It surprised me again, Chris, because, you know, there at times, yeah, okay, if you're going to make a change at quarterback, you've got to, as a coach, feel that your quarterback is the reason your offense is struggling. With the amount that Mike Riley's been hit and the lack of help he's had up front, I'm not sure changing the quarterback changes that, and we saw that on first down. Crompton under pressure, had to throw it away.
2nd and 10. Gets it away, looking downfield for White, incomplete. Pass overthrown. Emmanuel Davis on the coverage, and it's a quick 2-and-out.
I think the fans here wanted a bit of a pass interference call down there by Emmanuel Davis, but see the pressure this time. 4-man rush, and still Crompton getting hit. Now a little bump by Davis at the other end, but I think this is a good no call by the officials only because that ball was well overthrown. I'm sure White could have run under that anyway.
The Eskimos have had to readjust their offensive line. Brandon Curry, the right tackle, is out. Matt O'Donnell's moved there, and so both Brian Ramsey and Gord Hines into the game. Here's Andrea Jones with the return, and he's cut down at the 35-yard line. Perry Grant and the Ticats go back to work on offense when we return to Commonwealth. 2013 PGA Championship from Oak Hill in Rochester, New York, set to begin. Our coverage tees off Thursday, 1 Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific, here on TSN.
Now, once again, Edmonton Eskimos, Mike Riley is going to have to overcome adversity. It's an interesting switch there, putting Jonathan Crompton in the game and the way it was done.
Ticats confirmed that their quarterback change in the first half was part of their plan, as we saw the series from Dan Lefevre.
Take a look at that last series when Edmonton took the field. Watch how Riley goes on the field. He's right at the top of your screen here. Now he goes on, and Doug Sams, offensive coordinator, he thinks he's playing. And Doug Sams grabs his jersey at the last second and says, no, we're going with Crompton. You could see the frustration in Mike Riley. I mean, at the very least, he could have told Riley while the break was on that they were going to make the change. He's going to have to overcome that too and just focus on his next opportunity.
Don Walker, short gain to the 45. Don Ramasian, the defensive tackle.
You know, in the meantime, this young Hamilton team, Chris, this is their opportunity to learn how to try and win games because, you know, you can have a little bit of a lead. They had a lead last week against Saskatchewan. I believe it was about a 10-0 lead early in that game, and then watched it disappear, and key moments of the game just didn't make the plays. Ken Austin talks about don't let the game or the moment be bigger than you. This is one of those moments. Get some drives together and some points on the board and put the game away.
Have had a couple of 10-point leads evaporate this season. There's a nice pass to Sam Jaguar over the middle. J.C. Sherritt the tackle, but Jaguar has a first down at the Edmonton 50. 7 different receivers for Burris on the night.
Nice pre-snap motion here from Jaguar as he just is patient with the route. starts deep in that waggle position, hits the line, buys a little time, nice and patient, finds the hole.
Nothing definitive. Dan Lefebvre comes in, but you'd expect Andy Fantu's back after the bye. And Lefebvre's going to take off, but straight ahead. He's got a first down run and more. Down to the 25.
Yeah, and let's be clear on this. This is a different situation for Hamilton than it is for Edmonton. Hamilton came in with this as part of their game plan. We confirmed that at halftime. That Lefebvre would come in and run a certain package. They like his athleticism. He can run the football. This is a great example of it, a 25-yard gain by number 13. He's got a play package. He's got some mobility. As Matt Dunnigan said at halftime, can stretch out a defense a little bit, work on the edges, soften those corners a little bit. So this is part of Ken Austin's plan and has been throughout the season. They just haven't run it very often. You can see there's a very different demeanor between Henry Burris on the sideline and Mike Riley on the other.
Almondo Sewell shaken up on that last play. And he got decked by the right tackle we talked about tonight, Joel Figueroa, number 60.
Joel Figueroa is going to pull from that right tackle spot. Watch him, the big man, pull around the corner, and he sees Sewell in the hole. Gets a shot of him. Looks like he just fell backwards and twisted awkwardly.
6'6", 320. Out of Miami.
With good feet. And when you get that combination, you got an offensive line.
Mike Ingersoll, who started the last game against Edmonton, was pulled after the first quarter when Odell Willis had a couple of early sacks, and Ingersoll later released.
Now, Odell has one tonight, but that was on the opposite side against the tight end formation, so it wasn't on Figueroa.
25-yard run for Lefebvre, and so the Ticats' ground game has been especially impressive tonight. 123 rushing yards already. They'll roll out, now look back the other way. A throwback for Delahunt overthrows the fullback who was being tracked by Damaso Munoz.
Yeah, Munoz wasn't fooled. And the whole design of this play is to influence the linebackers so they think that the quarterback's going to run on that sweep wide. And then they'll leave their man to try and go get him. And that's what they try and influence here. See, the Fever's going to come out here. Watch Damaso Munoz and J.C. Sherritt. They're not going to be influenced. Sherritt's got to go over there with his men, but Munoz stays backside and takes Delahunt that backside route.
2nd and 10 from the Eskimos 25. Pressure on, and Burris in trouble, and he's dropped back at the 31-yard line. Ted LaRun cleans up and has his 3rd sack of the year.
Cover sack. Because Burris had initial time. But you're right, just a relentless effort from Ted LaRun. Interior defensive lineman keeps pushing. Henry Burris doesn't like it to the play side, has still time to throw it. And now it's over.
So Kanji on to attempt a 38-yarder. Out of the hold of Bartel, Luka Kanji on target. Ticats increase their lead. Is Mike Riley coming back? Looks like it. Packing more bite than ever before, the television event of the summer returns. Shark Week begins Sunday at 8 Eastern, only on Discovery.
700 men went in the water. 300 came out. Sharks got the rest. That was Quint. Back in the 70s. Best movies of all time.
You get fired up every time we do it, don't you?
I love Shark Week, man.
Mike Riley back in the game.
That was the Jaws. Clip from Quint.
Riley's been looking at the jaws of that defense.
Oh, has he ever. And back in, so comes out for 1 possession. Last week it was 3 possessions. And then went back in just before halftime. Put 180 yards on the board and 2 touchdowns when he returned to the game.
Well, I hope for every offensive series from start to finish tonight. That won't happen, but looking to finish strong as he did last week in Montreal. Here's Charles a spin, and he needed the 45-yard line. He'll come up short. It'll be a third down and less than a yard for Kavis Reed's Eskimos.
Now, usually Kerry Joseph in these situations will come in and take this, which he will. And that was what the Edmonton Eskimos failed to execute on the last play of the game last week. To get their short yardage team in time, elected to run a play out of shotgun.
So much talk after the fact, and should there have been a review? Was that why the Eskimos were caught off guard? Even a discussion of whether or not the Eskimos were given time to deploy their short yardage team.
Yeah, but you know, either way, Chris, there was 10 seconds, and that was time for Kavis Reed to call a play. They ended up going with the identical play that they had run the play before because they ran out of time. So they basically yelled to Mike Riley, same play, didn't work. Chip Cox stopped him, and they lose the football game.
So that revamped Eskimo offensive line digs in here in front of Kerry Joseph on third and less than a yard. He bubbles around, and does he get it? Comes down right on the line, and there should be enough, but not by a whole lot.
No, he just got there. And you can see the official's foot right in the bottom of your screen across the line.
As long as he got to the white chalk, it's enough for the first down.
Yep. Boy, he had to work for that. He lost his helmet in the process. Took the ball off the line of scrimmage when he just needed a few inches, which is risky.
Jamal Johnson met him in front of that first down step, but good second effort to get there. Back in is Riley. Play action fake. Jump past to McCarty. And not much there as he's taken down at the 50.
Part of the reasons that Mike Riley's been hit a lot, especially in this second half, has been the shakeup in the offensive line. They've moved some people around now. They've lost Brandon Curry in tackle and moved Gord Hines outside and brought in Brian Ramsey to play center. He played center last week. So Gord Hines goes to guard.
And big Matt O'Donnell moves from left guard to right tackle. 2nd and 5. Had some time running out. Now downfield, wide open. Big Stamps with a block. And cut down inside the 25-yard line. Arthur Hobbs the tackle.
Despite all the hits, despite not being told, it looked like from above that he wasn't going to play a series. Watch the poise and composure with his eyes downfield. He's been under pressure and duress all game long and gets his eyes downfield, sees Fred Stamps open up, throws it against his body. Nice play by Mike Riley.
37 with Stamps. Arthur Hobbs, the corner who made the tackle, shaken up.
I say that against his body, meaning rolling to his left and throwing the opposite direction. He has to turn his body. Difficult throw to make, but he kept his eyes down the field and Stamps opened up. Last week, pulled with 12 minutes to go in the first half. Came in after being pulled, missed 3 series, and went 12 of 19 for 180 and 2 touchdowns. And that final drive was 4 for 4. They added a running play to get to the goal line. Didn't score on that last play, as we just explained, but came back and responded to the adversity of being pulled. And he do it again and finish.
Raymond Brown comes in on the corner for the injured Hobbs. The Eskimos will reset here, 1st and 10. 4 receivers, wide side. Riley looking that way. Looking for Poohol. Does he have it? He says he's got it. He's going to mark him down at the 5.
D. Webb was waving his arms as if he didn't, trying to influence the official. Nate Kuhorn got up very confidently. Let's take another look. Mike Riley just moved a little to his left in the pocket, bought some time.
Great catch. 1 for 7 last week. And we've got a fan on the field at the other end that is delaying this.
It was, but this is a Edmonton fan that's not helping the home team. This gives Ken Austin a chance to look at this play again. I think it was a great catch by Nate Kuhorn. Remember, once you run a play, the opposing team cannot challenge. He pulled it off the turf and looked like he had both hands underneath the football, so that it was the hands that touched the turf, not the ball. That's a good catch by Kuhorn. Coming into his own with 19 catches and shy of 250 yards coming into this game.
First catch of the night for Kuhorn, his 20th on the season. And a 100-yard receiving game against BC.
You know, I talked to him yesterday and asked him about how where he is and how he feels this year as opposed to last. He says it's such a confidence boost to get the playing time last year, get a look at all the DBs and all the defenses, and he said it just became so much more familiar when I got to camp this year. I hit the ground running, felt so much more confident, and now he's trying to orchestrate the crowd a little bit here, just pound down a little bit, because this is an important drive to finish and pound it in. Said all off-season, Chris, the drill he worked on was to catch the ball with people smacking at his arms and his hands. He said he had assistant coaches and players. Every time he caught a ball in a drill, he wanted someone pulling and pushing at his hands so he would make those contested catches.
Well, it's first and goal, and it's at the 5 for Corey Joseph. Did he go the wrong way, or is the direction? It's a touchdown! Huge Charles!
That's a goal play, and it's a beauty. Corey Joseph on the reverse pivot out of there, spins around, gets the momentum of the defense going one way. As he opens to his left, spins around, makes the perfect option pitch from Delvin Breaux as he came up to hit the quarterback. Touchdown Edmonton, we got a game.
I bet.
Perfect fake. I mean, that's a well-executed offensive play.
Hey, come on.
So Mike Riley back into the game, got the drive started. Kerry Joseph finishes it with that little clip to Hugh Charles. And Charles has another touchdown against the Ticats, his third of the year, all coming against Hamilton.
Well, they've had to mix up the offensive line, and you mentioned Matt O'Donnell going out to tackle. Well, guess what? Matt O'Donnell's going to make a key block here as he gets out on Jamal Johnson and is able to cut the linebacker off from getting to the outside and making the play right there. That block, it does not let Johnson to get to contain. Now, Breaux takes the quarterback. It's Johnson that's supposed to take the pitch. He can't get there. Hugh Charles in the end zone.
7 plays, 75 yards, and the signature clip of Hugh Charles. Couldn't do that with the Colorado Buffaloes. That's a penalty in the NCAA.
Gotta have it. Love you guys back at home in Texas. It's a crucial game. You gotta keep that momentum going.
There's people down in Texas watching you. Check our Twitter accounts and see some people from the States.
Heard from Anaheim and Texas, and great to know you're watching on NBCSN. Walker. A return out beyond the 40 for Walker. Here in the final minute of the third quarter. Two desperate teams, both 1-4. Trying to head into the bye with a better taste in their mouth.
Yeah, but, you know, it's so important in one quarter to get it done. such a difference going into the bye week on a win.
A lot of frustrated folks in Hamilton after those back-to-back losses against Saskatchewan, but we saw progress last week, and we're seeing a lot more of it here, but this game is on now. Comes a blitz to the sidelines, and catch is made by Ellingson, who has a touchdown here tonight.
Important for both coaches at this point not to deviate too far from the game plan, especially for Ken Austin, who's done a nice job tonight of mixing the run and the pass. Gone with some tight end sets when he gets John Delahunt in there.
Second and just the length of the football. Final play of the third quarter. See if Burris uses a free play here. Well, they'll hand it off straight ahead, and they'll get up for a first down as they push the pile across midfield. We're through 45 minutes at Commonwealth. Now a 5-point Tiger Cat lead. Should be a good fourth quarter, a 5-point Cat lead. The numbers through 3 quarters of play.
I look down at the bottom of the time of possession. The Edmonton Eskimos are closing the gap, but I like the Mike Riley response. It was after being pulled again a couple series later. He goes 7 plays, 75 yards, and we got a football game.
Boy, he took some hellacious hits earlier in the third quarter and then gets lifted, but you're right, he has that ability to respond.
Well, the play he makes to Fred Stamps down the sideline is a great example of it. He just, he controls what he can. He can't control that he got pulled, but what he can control is the next time he's out there. He does that. We've got a football game because of it. Mike Riley responds to the adversity one more time.
And controlled the football. That drive was 4 minutes, 10 seconds long, so Jermaine mentioned time of possession advantage of over 7 minutes. Now it's 4 minutes. The Ticats with the football at midfield. First down, Siobhan Walker has 4 to the 50-yard line.
Well, that's what I mean about Ken Austin's game plan. It doesn't have to deviate, even though the game's a lot tighter now than it was a drive ago, because his offensive line has done a nice job of reestablishing that line of scrimmage, moving it, creating some pockets and some holes for Siobhan Walker or C.J. Gable.
Eskimos are 0-4 when allowing 100 yards plus rushing this year. They were 3 of 11 last year. The Ticats roll over that again tonight. Walker breaks a tackle, has a first down, and he's inside the 35, or steps out right at the 35-yard line.
I believe it was the game clicks again. Sorry, Chris. I believe it was the Maso Munoz that's going to come off the edge in a blitz, and this is almost a run blitz too. So if Hamilton decides to run the ball like they do, you should have all the gaps closed if you're the Edmonton Eskimo defense. And they had that outside gap closed by Damaso Munoz, who just missed the tackle. Walker ran through the arm tackle.
Big upgrade on the ground. Play action fake. Burris to the wide side. Jaguar's open. Another first down catch for Sam Jaguar. Bumped out by Rapakamba.
Well, I'm not a math major, not close, but that's a long throw from that hash mark. Burris on the fake, turns around, has the great fundamentals, has a bit of a wobble to it, almost forced it out there, and with a flick of the wrist, that's about a 45-yard throw if you take in the angle and the trees and the wide throw and the sideline. It's a long throw, let's put it that way.
Beaver comes back in. They'll dump it off the Gable. Brought down, good tackle from Maso Munoz.
He was upset, I'm sure, talking to himself after missing Siobhan Walker and allowing Hamilton to continue the drive. This time Munoz, he's got Gable out of the backfield in coverage as he drops. So now it's one-on-one in the open field, and that's why he's moved into second place coming into this game. His point came back, caught next one.
foreshadowed last year by J.C. Sherritt. He puts a player of the year. Boris checks back in for Luxembourg. Here comes the rush. Bill slams in. End zone toss. Touchdown. Ellingson's got another. Henry Burris to Greg Ellingson.
Makes the play, Chris, because he steps up in the pocket and allows his help to push Marcus Howard past, or excuse me, Odell Willis past him. Steps up, buys that extra second. And there's again Greg Ellingson working into an open area.
2 touchdowns, both 17 yards in length. Greg Ellingson. And it's a 2-score lead for the Ticats once again. CFL on TSN is brought to you by GMC. We are professional grade.
Nice route running from Ellingson. Sometimes when you're not against a man defense, you still have to run your moves like you would against man defense because it can influence his own player.
We had the pillow and the shovel. I didn't see any celebration on that. He's getting an old hat, I guess.
I guess so.
Hugh Charles. And a flip the field. And out beyond the 40-yard line before he's dragged down.
I'll show you what I mean about running your route for young receivers, even if you're not going to run against man-to-man defense. Ellingson's going to come up the field here now. Hold it here. Watch how there's the zone play here by Chris Thompson. If he doesn't make this little move here, Thompson does is open up his hips to get that deep outside, thinking he's running the corner. He curls down and is open for Henry Burris. Keep running your routes, make those moves, even if you're facing zone.
Back into the hands of Riley. He hands it off to Charles. Not much on the first down run.
Now, Odell Willis had a shot at Henry Burris on that touchdown throw. But Brian Simmons, watch how he doesn't give up on the play. Odell Willis comes quick off the edge. He gives him a shove. Now, Willis has him, but that second effort just pushed him by Henry Burris. He stepped up nicely. Ellingson is open at the other end.
Mike Riley looking at 2nd and 8. Charles stays in the block. Riley's throw, and Ehorn can't one-hand it. Arthur Hobbs back into the game on the corner in coverage. 2 and out for the Eskimos. 4th 2 and out of the game for Edmonton.
But that's the timing of the 2 and out is almost as important as the 2 and out. And after a score, you want to come back with a response. Even if it's a couple of first downs, give your defense a rest.
And Shaw. Jones at his 16. Got something. Good return for Jones. Beyond the 30-yard line. Henry Burris is hooked up with Greg Ellingson for a couple of touchdown passes tonight. The summer games continue tomorrow. BC taking on New Brunswick in women's soccer. Live coverage gets underway from Sherbrooke, Quebec, 2:30 Eastern, 11:30 Pacific on TSN. Military night here in Edmonton. How about the Royal Canadian Artillery Band?
Yeah, they were great.
They were rocking at halftime. Henry Burris throws that swing, and that's a dangerous pass. Isaiah Jones brings it down, has 2 or 3 yards.
It was because it was a lateral.
Yeah.
And if Andrea Jones doesn't make a difficult catch there, that's a fumble and a live ball.
Got Jones back last week, the Stala, and suddenly Henry Burris has a lot more veteran receivers at his disposal. And when Cantu's coming back, be a formidable offensive attack. And Bakari Grant has raised his game this season, hasn't he? Another first down catch.
You know, it really will. I mean, you think about that for a second. Bakari Grant who has taken a big step this year. I mean, this guy's on pace for over 1,200 yards, and he keeps playing the way he's playing. He's going to take that next step into the top 10 receiver category. Ellingson, as a first-year guy, doing such a good job finding his way quickly. You add Fantus to the mix, Andrea Jones, that's a good-looking receiving core all of a sudden.
First down, the handoff to Walker. Munoz with the tackle at the 52-yard line.
Now they're patching together their offensive line as well, but we've seen Joel Figueroa play well at right tackle. Tim O'Neill, who Henry Burris is very familiar with from their days in Calgary together, moves in for Marwin Hayes, but they'll get him back.
The lumberjack.
Yeah, he called him Figueroa. He said he's got those lumberjack hands. He's like, he's out there chopping down defensive linemen.
Eskimo fans want to stop right here. Second down, the handoff inside, and Giebel will be stopped short at about midfield. He had to get to the Edmonton 52-yard line, so in Austin will have to send the punt team on.
That's a crucial stop for the Edmonton defense at this point in the game.
Ticats, a 6-game losing streak at Commonwealth Stadium. They haven't won here since 2006. One win in their last 10 against Edmonton overall. But own a 12-point lead here midway through the fourth. Working the clock down. Long snapper Kevin Scott. Martell's boot. Hope will field it inside the 5. The sidelines for a few extra yards. Hugh Charles has a touchdown in this game. He and the Eskimo offense. Wendy's Friday Night Football brought to you by Late Night. Participating Wendy's open until midnight or later. Now that's better.
D-Webb has been directing traffic on that Hamilton defense tonight.
Number 5, right side halfback. Right side to Derek Koch and Arthur Hobbs on the stop. Jamal Johnson there as well.
While we were in the break, D-Webb pulled all the defenders for Hamilton into the huddle and got them fired up. He just said, let's go, guys. This is the time where you learn how to win. The veteran in the secondary, 4 years in the CFL, 3 with the Hamilton Ticats, jumping up and down, getting those guys loose, getting them ready to go. He's been doing that all game long.
4-year vet out of Florida. 2nd and 4. Riley underneath. Coast the crosser. And Derek Coates got a first down. And the first corner tackle at the end of the play on Delvin Bro. And for Bro, one of the leading men in terms of taking penalties.
Unnecessary roughness, horse collar tackle. Hamilton number 27, 15 yards penalty enforced from the end of the play. First down.
6th penalty against Bro on the season, now up to 83 yards.
Well, you could take this one and make it an example of the horse collar penalty. Right in the middle of the shoulder pads in the back. Pulls Kerry Coach backwards. Tack on the yardage.
Enhancing the field position up to the 44. Sidelines, they work against Bro, and Kerry Coach got another catch. 4 different receiver positions.
Yeah.
You mentioned that at the top of the show for Kerry Coach, the most versatile of the Eskimo receivers.
Yeah, and I like what they've done here. They've moved him for the most part. Now they'll move around a little bit, but for the most part, they're going to work him with Fred Stamps. I think it's a good idea. They work off each other, combination routes. They're on the wide side together now.
8 catches, 94 for Coach. A little pump fake, and now going to Coach deep. What a catch! sensational grab by Coke. He's out at the 27.
That's a beauty. Over the shoulder with coverage all over him. Mike Riley puts it up and outside, working in tandem with Fred Stamps to the wide side of the field, gives a little pump fake and then up over the top. That's a great catch and concentration, keep his feet in bounds.
You know, Mike Riley told us yesterday, Coke sneaky fast and is a vertical threat, and he stretches the field for 35 there. Eskimos need a touchdown. Riley's got Stamps open. Down at the 7-yard line, Hobbs the tackle. The Eskimos aren't done.
Riley is going to throw Fred Stamps open here because Stamps is doing like this, but Riley's going to throw him back inside here because he sees where the coverage is and Stamps can't. Watch Stamps go outside here. Now Riley will throw him back inside, bring him back towards those numbers because he saw where the coverage was.
Calvin McCarty checks in. It's 1st and goal, Edmonton. Down at the 7. Takes a look into the end zone. Highway wheel catch for a touchdown.
Sports Center grabbed this one.
And Mike Riley said Marcus Henry's a beast in beast mode here.
Sometimes pictures speak louder than words.
That's as good as we've seen this year. First touchdown of the year for the big target, Marcus Henry. And it's now a 5-point lead once again. Well, there was urgency on both sides, and we're getting it in this 4th quarter.
Marcus Henry got the ball inside the 10 with a big catch last week. Makes another one there. And as pumped up as D-Webb got this defense, took a horse collar penalty, kept the drive, gave Edmonton a little momentum, but a couple of big catches. Kerry Cope, Fred Stamps, Marcus Henry, and Mike Riley celebrating with his teammates. It's a one-possession game.
Those really were 2 clutch catches, though. First Coach and then Henry. 6 plays, 96 yards. The touchdown drive for the Eskimos to keep them alive here.
Now,
Not done, baby.
Edmonton can't be done if they want to win this one. And what does Henry Burris have?
Walker from his 10. And he'll be brought down short of the 30-yard line. Corbin Sharoon on the tackle. Remarkably, in 20 games this year, we have not had one decided by 4 points or less. Good-looking numbers for Henry Burris tonight. Got a 5-point game here. Are we going to have one of those photo finishes tonight?
Completing over 80% of his passes and closing in again on 300. Henry Burris averaging over 300 yards a game this season.
What a sweet move that was to get beyond the 35-yard line.
Oh man, Odell Willis is picking up gear right now. That you can't coach. That was just, Odell Willis said, I know I had him. Like, I had him. What happened? Stepped up in the hole, took on the block. Watch 41, step in there, throws his block away. He's got, whoa!
Olay. big one to the 40.
Got it on his own. C.J. Gable may be taking a big step in this game, win or lose, for Hamilton. That was a nice move on Odell Willis on first down. He got first contact above the line of scrimmage on this second down play, but picks up the necessary yardage on his own. I think we're seeing a breakout game for C.J. Gable.
10 carries, 52 yards so far tonight. And number 32. Shot, Barry Grant, and flag flies. Chris Robert Kumba will draw the pass interference penalty.
See Bakari Grant's jersey, as right now on Ray Jones is trying to fix, and does. That's a giveaway.
Pass interference. Edmonton number 15. Automatic first down.
There's Robert Combo right there. Now take a look when he picks up coverage here. He's playing a cushion technique on the break. Grabs the jersey and just hangs on just a little too long. Another step. If he lets go a step earlier, he's okay.
First down, handoff Walker, and he is stopped Ted Rock. Big defensive tackle drops Walker for a loss. Andre Bruce signals the 3-minute warning. We're in for a terrific finish at Commonwealth tonight. Our other game this week, CFL on TSN has the Bombers and the Lions at BC Place on Monday. All gets underway 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific. Andrew Harris against Chad Simpson. 4 teams with a bye. Edmonton and Hamilton will be on the bye after this game. Again, 2nd and 13. There's the throw, looking for Shakir, and Samuels again's got it. Clutch catch for Shakir. Henry Burris stays cool.
Stays cool even though he feels pressure coming. Eric Samuels coming from the outside linebacker spot. He's got pressure to stunt from J.C. Sherritt. And Shakir is just going to work that layer. And watch how Henry Burris drops this over his shoulder with a safety Donovan Alexander high. Puts it right in between them.
25-yard catch for Shakir. A first down to the 20. Back into the hands of Gable, and nothing doing that time.
Coming into this game, Hamilton Tiger Cats were calling 83% passing plays in their offense. Right now, that breakdown is 52% run tonight, 48% pass. So, very different play calling from Kent Austin, Tommy Contel here tonight that we've seen this year.
Converted on the last second down play, and looking at second and long once again. Pressure on, Burris looks into the corner for Bakari Grant. Incomplete.
Field goal is important here too for Hamilton. It would force Edmonton obviously for the major and then the 2-point convert. So Burris plays it smart here. This is the veteran in his 174th start. He's going to go deep to Bakari Grant, one of his most reliable receivers in the lineup tonight, but he's going to throw it to the outside shoulder. If Grant can't get it, it's incomplete. Field goal team goes out there.
Conchi surveying a 27-yarder that would put the Cats up by a touchdown and a 2-point convert. He's got it. It's an 8-point lead with 1:55 to go.
Now this is where Kent Austin finds out how much growth he's got from that young secondary. The Hamilton Tiger Cats back in. Orlando Steinauer has got to get the best series of the season from a group of rookies other than D. Webb. Emmanuel Davis, rookie, East Carolina. Courtney Stevens, Arthur Hobbs, rookies.
The field in a hurry.
And just as I mentioned that, this young secondary busts the coverage. As they scramble, Courtney Stephen jumps an in route, leaves the middle of the field wide open for Marcus Henry.
40 yards on the play. Mike Riley over 300 for the first time as an Eskimo. First and 10, lots of time. Let's go. And it's intercepted. Penalty down. Arthur Hobbs has the interception, but it's going to get negated by the flag. Threw it into traffic. And will get a penalty against Orlando Steinauer secondary.
Well, Mike Riley's going to catch a break here. He had Fred Stamps open, and he forced it into double coverage.
Pass interference. Hamilton, number 5. Automatic, first down.
D. Webb is called.
The veteran. So a bust.
And another flag just flies as somebody in the Ticat huddle had a little bit too much to say.
Yeah, and that's no question. It's pass interference. Contact early by D. Webb. Didn't see his teammate and Arthur Hobbs come underneath that corner route.
Didn't
Mike
allow
Riley
Coach to make a play on the ball.
Yeah, Mike Riley dodges a bullet there, Chris.
Objectionable conduct. Hamilton, number 20. At the distance to goal. First and goal.
Emmanuel Davis called, and that takes it to the 3.
Now this has happened so quickly that Mike Riley's moved down the field that Kent Austin's offense will likely get another shot at it, even if Edmonton can punch it in and convert the two-point conversion.
138 penalty yards on the night for the most penalized, check that, the 5th penalized team in the league, the Ticats. Joseph fakes, in trouble, into the end zone, touchdown! They'll get 2.
The 11-year vet gets it done. Team. Gary Joseph just comes to work every day, tries to help the young guys out, works with Mike Riley, fights off what should have been a sack for the Hamilton Tiger Cats with his left arm alone, and finds Calvin McCarty in the corner.
Second touchdown in as many weeks for McCarty, but the Eskimos need another play, and Gary Joseph stays out now for the 2-point conversion play. Trying to equalize here. Cause a motion, the pitch on the ground, and they won't get it. And finally the play is dead. It remains a 2-point Ticat lead.
Oh boy. Again, penetration caused problems, all kinds of moving parts with the Edmonton Eskimo offensively, bringing in 2 backs here. They run Hugh Charles. Actually, there's 3. There's Calvin McCarty and John White are up there. But Emmanuel Davis gets up the field and disrupts the play.
Emmanuel Davis, who took that extra penalty to get it a little closer to the goal line, atones with the play on the 2-point convert. So now, here's one for a minute 24 to go. The hands team has to come out, or do you kick deep and try it for the 2-and-out?
Well, you just need the field goal.
They do have a timeout.
Oh, it's right on that bubble.
Yeah, it's close.
It's right on that bubble. If you try the onside kick here and don't get it, You're leaving Hamilton in field goal range. Both have 2 timeouts each, Kavis Reed and Kent Austin.
Looks like they're signaling to kick it downfield, and they will. They'll kick away, one man back, and that ball's on the carpet. Siobhan Walker scoops it up, and they're going to drop it back inside the 15. So the hands team out for Hamilton, and Kavis Reed's putting it in the hands of his defense.
Well, let's go back to that 2-point convert. 1, 2, 3 backs on the field for the offense for Edmonton. One's coming across, then they do that reverse pivot out, trying to get John White on the pitch here. But because Davis comes up the field so quickly, it disrupts the pitch. The distance between White and Kerry Joseph isn't correct. That causes a problem. That's why it's still a 2-point lead for the Ticats.
Inside to the 17-yard line for Gable. Number 1 and 4 teams giving us one of the best games of the year.
Absolutely, and you know, with all the pressure that's been on these two coaches, certainly Kavis Reed over some decisions over the last couple of weeks. I like this one. You know, it was right on that bubble time at 1:24. He gets a stop on this down from his defense, should get good field position and lots of time, and he has 2 timeouts.
He elects to use.
There's the other one.
He will elect to use his timeout after this play if he gets the stop. Samuel Jaguar has been clutched tonight. That play had 2 receivers in the same area.
Which is a mistake. And Hamilton gets away with that mistake, and Jaguar comes up with it because he's looking at Greg Ellingson, and they both smiled at each other saying, yeah, that wasn't the way we drew it up, because you shouldn't have 2 receivers that close together. Burris threads the needle, puts it up over top of one. If Ellingson tips that, he can't get it to Jaguar.
Eskimos want to use their timeout now. The clock started to run. Kavis Reed was calling timeout, so they're going to have to reset the clock here. Only 1 timeout available
Timer,
in the final 3
please
minutes.
reset the clock.
Yeah, that's a new
to
change.
49 seconds. 49 seconds.
That's a good point, Chris, and it's a rule change to have you can only use 1, even if you have to. You can only use 1 timeout inside of 3 minutes.
It's an enormous conversion by Henry Burris to Jaguar.
That's some tough catches tonight.
89 yards on 6 catches. Eagle, careful run, it's got him behind the line of the scrimmage.
Take a look at that Jaguar catch again, because he has to maintain focus and concentration with his own teammate in an area that he's not supposed to be. I'm not sure who made the mistake here, but Greg Ellingson was in the same line of fire.
And fortunate that Ellingson didn't get his fingertips on it and tip it away. So the clock running. Will the Ticats stay on the ground and keep the clock running? Pass interference call. No nylon on the carpet. And
yeah, a little surprised with the call for a couple reasons. One, if you drop back and pass and take a sack, worst case scenario. Number 2, if it's incomplete, you stop the clock immediately. And this throw from Henry Burris wasn't going to get him first down yardage anyway. Now they wanted the pass interference.
If you run, you're just about burned off the whole clock. Now the Eskimos will have 1 shot. Harry Cope gets out of bounds. Clock stops 17.1. So they've got time for a couple of plays, please. And they need about 30 yards.
Second half for Mike Riley is 12 of 15. 200 yards, completing 80% once again. He bounces back from being pulled. Once again, he's right on the doorstep.
Was not in for the two-point convert or the touchdown play that's got them within reach here. He's a couple of big ones now. One's out, and Riley still going. Lunging over the midfield stripe. They're going to line up quickly.
They're going to down the football. Down the football.
And this is a play we talked about that they did not do last week. Here's an NFL play you rarely see in the CFL. As soon as the time is whistled in, they'll down it. Almost never see that in the CFL, but you can afford that on first down to stop the clock and get some time to make this next play call.
Conventional wisdom says you use the sideline here if you're Mike Riley. Try and get the football on a timing throw, probably the short side of the field, and get it out of bounds immediately. It's got to be a timing throw. Can't lose those 7 seconds, but you need a few more yards, another 10.
Bradshaw's career long is 52, so they're going to get to the 45. And there is time on the clock, and they get it into range. This time they execute the final minute timing perfectly, and it's now onto the foot of Bradshaw.
And it's a little Friday night football at its best.
Heartbreak in the final minute. Last week in Montreal. And they make amends here at home from 50 yards out. For the win, Bradshaw not going to get there. And it's going to be a 1-point Hamilton Tiger Cat victory. The closest game of the CFL season has Kent Austin smiling as the Ticats will head into the break at 2-4. Another heartbreaking loss for the Eskimos, still winless at Commonwealth. 30-29 the final. So long from Commonwealth. Sports Center is now